All right. The Penguins have been officially sold to the Hoffmann Group. It took a long time, Bob. King Jamieson of the Post-Gazette went to New York and interviewed both Tom Werner of FSG and Gary Bettman, and there was some interesting stuff there. Bottom line is it's about $1.75 billion, which Bettman made sound like they got a pretty good deal the way sports franchises sell and the prices they sell for these days. So my first question, Bob, is how will we remember FSG? How should we? How do you remember FSG as it lets go of the Penguins? How was their tenure?
I guess two things to me will stand out. One didn't stand out is what they did and sort of alienate Mario Lemieux, who should never have been in that position. Not at all. And I think this new group is going to bring him back in a capacity, which is absolutely what they should do. He is the best ambassador for hockey in Pittsburgh. He's one of the best ambassadors for hockey in the country and in all of the NHL. So they put an end to the Hextall regime, which was a Burkle and Mario, hire.
Sure was.
And they changed that, and they hired Kyle Dubas. So if I'm going to look at anything critically, it would be how did they get to where they are now? And they made a good selection in Dubas, and hopefully that'll set this franchise moving forward. And maybe that's why the Hoffman Group was interested in it. I never thought, though, Joe, $960-some million that Mario and Burkle sold.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, I don't know that they thought they would get that much. So they got that much.
Oh, if Mario could do that over with Burkle, I think he probably would.
But I didn't see the jump in the sale price going from that almost doubling to where it is now or where it was. So, I think I'll take away the fact that the Hextall thing was ended and he brought in a new regime led by Kyle Dubas.
That's what I take away. Listen, they made some mistakes for sure. Alienating Mario's obvious. I didn't like the signing of Sullivan. I didn't think that was a great move. And they felt like they were always removed from Pittsburgh, like you couldn't really feel their presence here. Having said that, all of that is ancillary to, is ancillary the right word there? Limits background? Yes. All of
You're
that
asking me?
I think that's right, yes.
All of that is relatively unimportant to this. Mm-hmm. If I'm a fan of a team in a city, I want my owners to fund that team to the max and to choose the right people to run it. That's all I really care about. And they did that. They gave, first of all, they hired Kyle Dubas. They ended the Ron Hextall mistake. They apparently made the right hire in Dubas, and they gave him and the team, the franchise, every bit of funding that it could possibly need to be successful. So as far as I'm concerned, FSG was good for the Penguins and did a good job here and left the place better than they found it. I think that's inarguable. Anybody disagree?
No.
I'm going to quibble a little bit.
Yeah?
Just because, look, I don't think that, and maybe it's a Kyle Dubas thing, and maybe it's the fact that Ron Hextall was just not good at his job. But they never acquired that next franchise star. And I know maybe that's not on FSG to do that.
That's what they hired Dubas for.
That's what they hired Kyle
Tom
Dubas
Warner's not out there signing stars.
Right. I don't know. Maybe it's just because FSG never gave you that warm and fuzzy feeling that made you feel good. If this was a year ago, it'd be different.
I don't need that as a fan.
Well, I would like one of those guys to show up once in a while and just, they did for certain occasions, like Yager's retirement jersey, that stuff.
Yeah.
But a little bit more hands-on, I would have voted. That's quibbling, but yes, I agree with that.
But other than that, they are in a better place now than when they found the Penguins.
Yeah, and they have what they hope is a foundation in place so that in the next several years they'll be able to take it to another level.
If Dubas is the right guy, and based on the last year anyway, I mean, his first year was horrendous. And that wasn't, well, I was going to say that wasn't their fault, but they did hire him. But he now does look like the right guy. And if we believe that, and that bears out, that becomes true, then to me, I'll always look back and say FSG set the Penguins on the right path. By the way, they also kept the regional sports network, which was kind of important. Yes, Bob?
Yes, but I don't know where that's headed now in the future, though.
Didn't the Hoffmans, did they not acquire that? Or
well,
no?
I think that's part of it, but I think they don't want to necessarily run that. I think that's part of the deal, as I understand it. At some point, something's going to change there, and I'm not sure where it goes after that.
And the Mario thing, I mean, if the team had won, like if they had made a run to the Cup last year, would that have been like a huge concern of people's? I don't think so, but it certainly wasn't good. But I just think
it was the Hoffman Group. That whole transition had started.
Yeah.
I think Mario Noe. I think he would have been there. I think.
If it was FSG let's say last year, then if FSG had a cup run, I don't think that would have been foremost on people's minds. The Mario
No, but
thing.
it would have
been secondary.
Why would you want to do that to the guy who's been?
Well, I'm not sure of the particulars of that dispute either. Are you?
No. The bottom line was
it was a money thing.
There was something going on. And it wasn't resolved for a long period of time.
So that leads us to our next question. Thank you, Limits. The Hoffmann family, Bob. Now, this took an unusually long time to consummate this deal. It's the Hoffmann family of companies. $1.75 billion. They own a variety of brands, I guess you'd call it. Everything from the Florida Everblades of the ECHL, a very successful franchise, I might add. You name something, they're in it. They're real estate, everything they're in, it seems like. Jeff Hoffman will be the team's governor with his brother Greg and the father, David, along with Dubas serving as alternate governors. So here we go. It's a new Penguins ownership. If you've been around this town for a long time, you may have post-traumatic stress from previous Penguins ownerships before Mario and Burkle. You might have that. I don't want to bring up Roger Marino, Howard Baldwin. Almost Balsillie, whatever his name was. Yep. Was it Jim Balsillie?
Jim Balsillie with the BlackBerry.
The 1975 bankruptcy. I just hope, and I hear that they're well funded. I just hope that that's the case. That this wasn't about the NHL being concerned about that. I'm hearing from talking to a couple people this morning that wasn't the case. Now, the person didn't know what was the case, why it took so long, and Bettman was rather evasive with King Jameson, why it took that long, which is a great name for a journalist, is it not, Bob?
I like it. King Jameson.
Yeah.
The king is in his castle.
So right now, I'm optimistic, but I'm also in wait-and-see mode. You never know what you're getting on the ownership front until it's there in professional sports, right?
Yes, but I think this group is very much interested in sports and winning. Seems to me, from what I've read about them, not met any of those guys, that the Florida Everglades team won like 5 championships. Really, really good team. They made sure that they were in position to win. They did what it had. Now, this is a different, obviously, level of hockey when money becomes very important. But there's a salary cap in place. They know what they're dealing with, and I'm sure they're going to try. Why would you acquire it if you're not trying to win with it? So I thought that was the case with FSG. It didn't work the way they wanted to. And I still think anytime you own a franchise, chances are, regardless of how bad or good your records are, you're going to make money eventually. So, but I think they want to win. I think everything I've read about them, how they handle all their businesses, is to make it the best they can make it.
I just want them to give Dubas the freedom and the funding that he had under FSG. If I were a Penguin fan, I'd be very happy with that. That's really, to me, almost all that matters. Right. I mean, yes, I want Mario back in the fold for sure, but I want my team to have every chance financially and to have the right people in place and give those people the freedom to work. And it doesn't seem, from reading about Hoffman, the old man, and also the guys under him, his sons, that he's going to be any sort of outlandish personality meddling type. I don't get that impression at all.
I don't either, which is good. But just give whatever Dubas needs to make his job as profitable from a not only financial, but obviously from a production point on the end. They got it. They have the first test will be coming up here soon. They got a lot of money to spend under their salary cap. So if they're in charge now, then we'll see what they do with it.
Next. All right, Bob. That leads us to the next big question. Josh Yohe has reported out there that a source told him that Kyle Dubas is, quote, big game hunting as we get ready for the NHL draft in Buffalo this weekend. Pierre LeBrun is on the record as saying, and it's already borne out to be true on at least one front, really probably a couple, that there's going to be tons of trades, or at least many big trades, big headline trades. One of the reasons for that is it's a crappy UFA class. So I ask you, I was listening to the PM guys. Jason Robertson has turned down a massive contract offer from the Stars. Is he big game enough for you? And would you give up? Pony suggested this trade. Ben Kindle and your first-round pick for Jason Robertson. Bob?
The answer to that would be yes. I think Jason Robertson is a very good hockey player already. He's young enough. If he were 5 to 7 years older, I'd say no to that. I like Ben Kindle, but I think his ceiling is probably a second line center.
Yeah,
and if I can get a talent like that who's is going to score 40 goals every year, it seems, I'm absolutely going to do it. And using assets like first-round picks to get, that's what Jim Rutherford did. They were trying to win, and he used some of those picks to try to win. And if they're at that point now where they think they need to take a step forward, and if you're big game hunting, not many bigger opportunities than Jason Robertson.
Man, I agree. Kyle Dubas has been walking this line between trying to secure the future and trying to contend in the present. And this guy is the epitome of that on both fronts. This is the guy on whom you can do both. He's young enough. He's 26 years old. He turns 27 in July.
Still, he's got 10 more good years the way hockey players go.
Yeah, he's exactly what you're looking for the future and the present. Mm-hmm. This dude's already had 2 40-goal seasons. He's already had a 109-point season and a 96-point season. Bob, he's one of the most dynamic offensive forces in the league, is what he is, and he's only 26. So for me, that's not even a conversation, although I agree with Pony that people may overreact anytime Kindle's name is mentioned. And who doesn't love Ben Kindle? He was a great pick who I think is going to be a good player. He's not going to be a 45-goal, 96-point player. And then the first-round pick is always a crapshoot in the NHL. Even if you're in the top 10, top 8, top 5, let alone where the Penguins are, that's a no-brainer. It's a non-thinker.
It may be.
Do we need a new phrase for no-brainer, Bob? Can we invent one? I'm tired
Obvious. Well, we can create one. You created a word.
I mean, we need something creative and good.
It's incrinculant.
It's incrinculant, Bob.